Have the parts available today on the video, so you know, this I'm going to give it a try, okay? And let's get on with the program. Okay, now we're just going to clean it up. Just take a little carb cleaner and simply just clean it off, and then take a clean rag and wipe that off, and you should be good to go with the cleanup part. And always make sure your carburetor is pretty clean before you put it on, even before you even unhook it from the other intake or take it off or anything, if you're using a used one. If you're building it, you want to soak it in the carb cleaner and clean everything. It loosens all of the holes that stopped up, and then these little devices. If we were building the carburetor, if we do that video, but for now we just want to do a clean up and try it. Okay, we have the carburetor attached. And now we want to put our little black where the breather will hook to, and you just simply slide it on and make sure the gasket's still attached, and you will be good to go. And just simply just put the 4 bolts back in it, and oh, there we go. And put them on it, snug them up, and we're ready to put the carburetor. And when I'm tightening something like this, I always crisscross. In other words, if you got 4 bolts, I'm going to go here, then I'm going to go up to here and tighten that one, drop back down, tighten that one, we get it out, and then go to that one. I always crisscross it, okay? Okay, we're ready to install. Okay, I've got the carburetor on. And now we are going to hook everything up, the gas line, all the linkages and all the little wires that goes to it, and see what happens. Okay, now I'm going to test the choke, the throttle, make sure it's all set in the right position. The way I set the choke and the throttle, I just set it at idle and with the choke off. So I'm going to pull the choke on, and then I'm going to pull the throttle up and make sure everything is adjusted out right and everything's working before we do a startup. Okay, let's see if the choke done its trick. It seemed to be doing its job, and if you wanted to, you could loosen this and see if it pushes back a little more. And in fact, I tried that with a camera, but I doubt I can do it. Hard to do this one-handed. Okay, the choke is pulled on, all the way on. Full choke, and that allows you to make sure it's good and tight. Okay, so we're good on the choke. Now let's try the throttle. I'm going to hold the camera down there and we can see if it's working. Okay, on the throttle you can also loosen it and do the same thing. Okay, all of that checks out, and while we got it on choke, we will make sure that everything's out of the way, and I'm just going to do a quick startup with everything like it is. The only thing about starting one up without the cover on it, the ideal of that cover, works as the fan. It forces air down through and around the heads and the engine to keep it cool. So we don't want to run it long like this, but we will give it a try. And to keep trash out, I'm just going to slide the filter on. It may or may not stay. But anyway, at this time, let's try it. Okay, everything seems to run out. We will get it the rest of the way together and see how it runs out. Drive it down the driveway or kick the deck on. Make sure everything works out. Let it get a little warm and see what happens from there. So I'm just going to button this thing the rest of the way up. When you were putting something back together, it's just a reverse process of what you done when you tore it down. So you've done saw that part. So I'm going to throw this together real quick and we'll take it for a test run. Okay, when putting this top back on, when you're sliding it down or putting it on, it has a little groove in here. I don't know if you can see it because I'm working in the dark nearly, but just make sure it slides down over the little surface that is designed for it to slide in and hold everything in place. Just make sure everything goes down good all the way everywhere. Make sure your bolts line up, and we will tighten this thing up and give her a try. Okay, I got it back together. We will do a test run on it in just a moment. On this particular mower, this has a little ring that snaps around it, and I didn't get it snapped down good, and it was hitting this thing, and when you started it up, it was like, uh-oh, mess up. But just keep that in mind. Some of them's got it, some of them don't. Just make sure that's snapped down. Everything's buttoned up, looks like. Always double check your bolts and everything. Make sure everything is put back together properly. And we're ready to give this a test run. It already ran better because the other carburetor, I had to run it with the choke about 1/4 of the way out, even at its hottest point. Now, it's manual choke now because we converted everything over. And there might be a little adjustment on there, like half choke and stuff, until it gets warmed up good, and you should be able to push it off and everything will be fine if the carburetor works right. And that seems to be the case. Everything's done all but that stubborn hood. It's a sunny gun to put on. A sunny gun is a word that's used around here to keep from cussing, I guess. My grandpa and dad used to say it, and so I picked the word up. So, hey, out of this Mr. Fix-It, you got a new word today, a sunny gun. Okay, let's try this sunny gun out. Have a good one. Okay, everyone, let's start this thing up and try her out. Might need a little juice to it. Do it again. Might need a little choke to it. All of this used to be automatic. Okay. Oh my God, it's bright out here. Might as well just check the old mail while I'm out. So far it's running pretty good. We will turn the deck on in just a moment. Got a little mist to it every now and then. That might be a plug right there. Everything's looking good. I'm letting it warm up, and then I'm going to put it full throttle, kick the deck in, and see what happens. Well, that's it for Mr. Fix-It today. Have a good one, guys.